Peace be with you. And did you say, and with your spirit? I hope you did. Thank you. So Bishop Mark asked me to share what I'm thinking of during these times that we're all in. And I guess for me personally, because I'm pretty busy a lot of the time, to be honest, I've really enjoyed just not rushing. I'm kind of embracing it a little bit, staying home more, not going out, not rushing around. Even when I go out, it's kind of nice when I'm driving down the road. Nobody's speeding. There aren't even as many cars on the road. And it kind of reminds me of when I was a young girl, when we, on Sundays, we'd go to our grandparents' house after dinner on Sundays, and it would be just relaxing time. And so I'm kind of finding it that way. I'm actually cooking. I don't cook. I do a lot of takeout. And so it's been kind of fun to just get back into cooking because our kids are grown now, so it's not, and Pat works all the time. So, I haven't been cooking a whole lot. So I've kind of enjoyed that a lot. And actually my kids are teaching me stuff, which is pretty cool. I'm actually sewing. That's another thing I used to do when I was young. And I had to sew because I had to make my own clothes sometimes because we didn't have a lot. But I didn't like it. And so it was like, I can't wait till I can buy my own clothes. But anyway, but now I'm back sewing masks and getting into the sewing machine. And people have been helping me, donating us material and things. And I've been making masks for the staff and of course for other people if they need masks. So that's been kind of fun. I've really enjoyed getting back to the old way of things. The other thing that of course, we're washing our hands so much now, right? So I made it a point that Barbara Salata said the same thing on her video, that I say a prayer every time I wash my hands. I was saying the Hail Mary. It's about 20 seconds, but I've also been saying a prayer to my guardian angel, the angel of God, my guardian dear, to whom this world permits me here, ever this day be at my side, to light and guide, to rule and guard. Amen. So I've kind of calling on my guardian angel to be with me. So these are some of the things that I've enjoyed during this time. But also, there are things that can disrupt our peace during this time. And Bishop Mark just wanted me to share, what do I do? Or what things what am I thinking of? And so the thought that came to my mind, and this is something that I've thought about before, the story of the disciples being out on the boat. There's actually two stories about Jesus and the disciples out on a boat. One boat, he's in the boat, and the other boat, he's not in the boat. And I'm going to read the story about the Jesus that's not in the boat with the disciples. And that's in Matthew 14. So immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up into the hills by himself to pray. And when evening came, he was there alone. But the boat was already a considerable distance from the land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. During the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. And when the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they said, and they cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I. Be not afraid." And remember at the beginning I said, "Peace be with you." Jesus says, "Be not afraid." And so I take those words very deeply to say, I should not be afraid because Jesus is with me. "So, Lord, it is you," Peter replied. "Tell me to come to you on the water." And I think, wow, imagine that. He really wants to know, is that really Jesus? Jesus says, "Come." Then Peter got down out of the boat and walked on the water to Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, "Lord, save me." So he took his eyes off of Jesus. But he did walk on the water. Isn't that amazing? When he kept his eyes focused on Jesus. Immediately, Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith," he said, "why did you doubt?" And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." So I try to put myself in that situation, and I'm just going to believe what Jesus said. Jesus is peace. And when we focus on him, we're more peaceful. And he gives us the peace if we ask him for it. It doesn't mean we won't go through troubles, but he will be with us to help us through the troubles. And so I really embrace that. And I embraced that a while back in my life. There were some situations in my life. And, I think we learn and we grow from these situations. And we're all in a different place in our walk with the Lord. So I don't want you to, I have my walk and I've been walking, but my walk is different than your walk. So I can only share my walk. So in my walk, one thing that was a significant thing that happened to me, my father was quite ill. He'd had COPD and he'd been suffering for many years after my mother had passed away. And he was at a point where he was very, very sick. And it was it was at a time in, December, Christmas time. That's like the busiest month for me, between Christmas things and presents and decorations and all that kind of stuff. End of the year with business stuff. I mean, it always was, December was a busy, busy time for me. And of course, all of this happened with my dad during that time. And I had to take on a lot of responsibilities for him that I thought to myself, how will I ever I don't even know how I'll get through this. And one night when I felt very overwhelmed, I was so overwhelmed, and I was all by myself in my house. And I was sitting in my living room, and I have a picture of the Sacred Heart of Jesus that was hanging on the wall in my living room. And I just looked at Jesus, and I just decided that I had to give it all up. I just had to completely give it all up. And I just literally went like this: Jesus, I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it all to you, and I don't know. I'm just giving it to you, Jesus. I can't do it myself. And then I felt like the words came to me, and I said, and I believe you're going to help me. And I believed it. I just believed it. I said, you know what? I'm taking an act of faith, and I'm going to believe it. And it was amazing. I can't, how I ever got through it all, I know why. It was Jesus. And I got through the whole thing. And, my father actually died after Christmas. It was the end of January. I had to go all, through December and January. And, I trusted the Lord every step of the way. And even when he passed away, I had joy in my heart because I knew Jesus helped me and was with me and was with my dad, was with my family and everything. And you can say, how could you have joy? But it was different. It was a different joy. It's like a trust joy. I can't even explain it. It's not happiness. It's a different thing. So I think of that a lot now, the things that we're going through in our world and all that. And knowing that I just have to trust him. I just have to just do this. I have to. Because I'll never get through it if I don't have my Jesus with me. And it doesn't mean it's always easy, but he's there. And so I trust and I believe, and I hope that you will too. So some of the things that I do to kind of keep me centered, first of all, I pray the rosary every day. And I watch EWTN. I would highly recommend EWTN. They have so much programming on there. You could just, I keep the TV on a lot of times just to keep it on. Sometimes I'll just be walking by it and something interesting will be on. I'll be, I got to stop and listen to that. So anyway, but I do the rosary every day and on EWTN. It's on at 7:30. So it literally forces me to get up. I might not want to get up. I want to sleep later, but you know what? The rosary's on at 7:30. That gets my day started. And Our Lady asks us to pray the rosary every day. And at first when I started doing it, it was like, it seems so long. But now it's not so long, and it's good. So be kind to yourself. Start praying the rosary every day, even if you start out with just one decade. That's a decade a day keeps the devil away. That's what I read one time. So anyhow, so I do my rosary at 7:30. Follow EWTN, knowing that all the people of the world are praying the rosary at the exact same time I am, and I kind of like that idea. And then at 8 o'clock on EWTN, they have their daily mass. They have other mass times too. You can check it on their website. But I decide I'm going to follow the mass. I do go to daily mass a lot. That's how I'm able to. Some people not able to do that, but I do. And in this time, what I've decided to do, instead of just kind of watching it and not really, I decide I want to sit there and make it really like I'm there. So I light candles. And I make sure to sit and I stand, I kneel. I just like we're at Mass. I do that so that, when I have the spiritual communion prayer, I feel like I've been part of that. And so I do that with Mass. The other thing I do is I listen to 1060 AM on the radio. So if you're in your car, I've been promoting this for a long time to people that I know. And if I'm home, I'm making my masks, and I have 1060 AM on my phone next to my sewing machine, and I listen to the shows, whatever's on at the time I'm doing the mask. That's what I'm listening to. They have a lot of great shows. You will grow so much in your faith if you listen to EWTN and Boston Catholic TV too, and 1060 AM. And if you just keep that on, boy, I'll tell you, you will grow in your faith like you won't believe. And it's easy, all right? It's easy. We also started with the coronavirus. We decided to do a family rosary at the end of the day. I'm real excited about that. So it's myself, Pat, our son Brian, who lives with us, and Pat's mother, Veronica. And it's a nice way. We do our distancing, and we pray the rosary together, and we each take a decade. And you know, I think at first, it was me that decided to do this, but they all seem to like it now. It's really bonded us together. So if that's something you think you might want to do too, that's a really good suggestion. Bob Hickey talked about, and Linda talked about Formed, which the church we have there, that you can go on there and watch all kinds of videos. Wonderful site. And he also mentioned Bishop Barron, who has some great talks and things that you can get on. There's so many things online. Just make sure they're Catholic, and you can't go wrong. There's a lot of good stuff out there. And of course, make sure that you follow the St. Teresa website. We have parishioners that are putting, this is something Bishop Mark wanted to do, where parishioners can kind of share what we're doing at this time, and just the Stations of the Cross. We had some beautiful talks on the stations from our parishioners. I think that is just fantastic, and thank you all for doing that. Also, St. Teresa's, they have the church is open at certain times now, not for Mass, but you can go in, you can check the website. I don't want to go on that, but if you check the website, all the times are on there. And so I just wanted to finish with a song. It's kind of interesting. It's a song that before the coronavirus came along. It's a song that, I don't know, it just was in my head. I would wake up sometimes in the morning and it would just be there. And I don't know where it came from, but it's that song, "The Lord is my light, my help, my salvation." And I don't know if I can sing it, but let me give you a try. The Lord is my light, my help, my salvation. Whom should I fear? With God I fear no one. The Lord is my light, the Lord is my help, the Lord is my salvation. I hope he's yours too. God bless you. I love you all. I can't wait to see you. Bye.